Hello and welcome back to Speed Model. Hopefully you've liked the results of the previous episode. We're just gonna continue along the same vein. We can keep adding more details and hopefully the end is near now. Of course, once we're done adding all the meshes, we can begin to properly do textures, more than just having simple washes of color. So yeah, I look forward to getting to that stage. Hopefully that will be very soon. Anyway, you're watching episode 6 of Speed Model. In this episode, we begin building some of the smaller objects around the house, starting with the cooker. Once again, you've seen me do this before, so I won't go into very much detail. I simply built 4 cookers as well as the little knobs to control each, coloring and naming everything as I go along. Then, I built a very simple microwave from a cube, cutting out a door and setting it to glass. With the microwave done, I turn my attention to the bathroom. I begin by building a toilet seat. I had to make quite a few adjustments using boolean operators to model both the toilet and the seat to the shape I want. I also used proportional editing to shift the vertices, which moves all the vertices in an area by a varying amount. It's a nice tool to achieve a gradual fall-off effect. With that done, I built a cover for the toilet by duplicating the seat. I put everything in place, color it, and move on to building the flush, a simple button at the top of the cistern. Then, I turn my attention to building little connectors for the glass panels at the shower. My idea is to have these 2 panels held at the center by them. I built one by extending 2 halves of a circle and duplicating it several times along the height of the panel. With that done, I begin to build the shower. The bracket holding up the shower head is simply a copy of the fridge door handle. Then I built the shower itself using a simple box modeling technique. It didn't look quite right after the subdivision, so I spent some time to tweak the mesh up. After obtaining a decent looking shower head, I began to build the hose for the shower. Now, I'm not very good at this since I don't work with paths and splines very often in Blender. I struggle a little with creating a convincing looking path for the hose. Eventually, I get a decent shape, and I bevel up the spline to create a visible shape. I wasn't too happy with how the end of the hose just disappeared into the wall. I wanted to make it look like it actually connected to the wall, and therefore I returned the path to an editable state and tweaked it so that the hose turned horizontally and pointed itself into the wall. I didn't quite like the look of the hose either, since most showers have a nice ripped looking hose. I ended up using a technique called dupli-frames, which duplicates a mesh multiple times along the length of a path. After testing the technique, I began by building one link of the hose. Then, applying dupli-frames, I generate a hose out of repeated copies of those links. Add a texture, and we're done. I also copied a tap from the bathroom, and we have a fully blown shower. Here's a quick fly around in the environment to show you what we've got so far. We are making good progress. In fact, one more episode of modeling, and then we can start thinking about throwing in the final textures. And there you have it. That's all there is for this episode. Progress has been good. I have been squeezing more content into these episodes, so hopefully things are moving along a little faster. Hopefully it's not as dry as before. But yeah, so far so good. I think we are quite near to being done, and then we can move on to do texturing, which I'm sure will be a welcome change. Anyway, that's all there is for this particular episode. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in the last season of Speed Model. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.